What if I told you that 5 U.S. states are no longer waiting for rain? They're manufacturing it, turning the sky into a machine, and quietly rewriting the rules of nature while most people check weather apps without a second thought. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on one of the most surprising, controversial, and barely discussed climate interventions happening right now: cloud seeding. A technology so simple it feels like cheating, yet so powerful it could reshape water politics across the entire American West. Imagine waking up, checking the forecast, and realizing the storm rolling in wasn't random at all. But what if I tell you scheduled, engineered, and paid for by your state? It sounds like science fiction, but for states like Colorado, Utah, Wyoming, Nevada, and Idaho, this isn't a movie plot, it's water policy. The mystery is, why now? Why are states suddenly racing to make artificial rain? To understand that, picture the water system in the West like a giant shared bank account that's been overdrafted for decades. Everyone, such as farmers, megacities, corporations, kept withdrawing, assuming the Colorado River would never run dry, and then one day the river hit low balance, and the bank sent a warning letter no one could ignore. Enter cloud seeding. At its core, it's the process of releasing tiny particles, usually silver iodide, into clouds to encourage raindrops or snowflakes to form faster, basically giving the clouds a motivational speech. You can do this. I believe in your potential. It sounds complicated, but the explanation is simple. Clouds already carry water vapor. Cloud seeding helps that vapor turn into something that actually falls. But here's where the investigative side gets juicy. This isn't just about rain. It's about money, power, and survival, with every drop of water becoming more valuable than gasoline. Industries with billion-dollar stakes are watching cloud seeding like investors watching a stock chart. Ski resorts love it for predictable snow seasons. Big agriculture loves it to protect crops. Real estate developers love it because more water equals more houses equals more profit. And tech giants? Their data centers run so hot they need massive amounts of water to cool them. Suddenly, making rain becomes less of a climate action and more of a business strategy. And that's where corporate dark patterns creep in, because the public conversations frame cloud seeding as harmless, eco-friendly rain boosting. But the unspoken truth is that when you can manipulate weather, you also manipulate who gets water, when they get it, and how much they receive. If one state seeds clouds upstream, the rain might fall earlier, meaning a neighboring state gets less. It's like ordering a pizza for everyone, and one person opens the box early, takes half the slices, and says, "Hey, I helped warm it up." And while scientists say cloud seeding is safe for people, the real danger isn't chemicals, it's control. Think about it. Once you normalize man-made weather, rain becomes a resource that can be optimized, budgeted, redirected, monetized, and contested. It raises questions like, who owns the rain? Who pays to make it? Who gets to benefit from it? And what happens when weather becomes a subscription service instead of a natural gift? You can picture planes flying overhead, releasing plumes into the clouds, not just as aircraft, but as symbols of how desperate we've become to fix a water crisis we created by building megacities in deserts and treating rivers like unlimited ATMs. The sky used to be nature's domain, but now it's part of the economy. And here's the final twist. Cloud seeding is cheap, shockingly cheap compared to the cost of water shortages. So states have every incentive to scale it up, quietly, consistently, and indefinitely. The big question isn't does it work? It's who does it work for? And that's why understanding cloud seeding isn't just about science. It's about recognizing how climate economics, psychology, and policy collide right above our heads. So as 5 states continue artificially making rain, we're left wondering, are we adapting to a changing planet or trying to control it? And what happens when controlling the weather becomes normal? If this video opened your eyes or made you rethink the sky above you, make sure to smash that like button, drop a comment, check our other videos, and please don't forget to subscribe to Curious TV for more videos.